The long journey outward, the long journey to the edge. For more than 4 decades, Voyager 2 has been drifting steadily outward, farther, and farther still, slipping away from the warmth and pull of our sun. It passed the last familiar planets of our neighborhood, glided through the icy frontier of the Kuiper Belt, and entered regions of space that, until recently, existed only in theory and imagination. Launched in 1977, during an era when computers were slower than the simplest phones we carry today, this small spacecraft was never expected to endure across generations. Its mission was ambitious, but it was also thought to be limited. Scientists assumed its instruments would eventually fail, its batteries would weaken, and its faint signal would vanish into the silence of the cosmos. It was supposed to go dark, to become just another lonely fragment of space debris, drifting unnoticed. But Voyager 2 defied every expectation. Decades later, it still whispers across billions of kilometers of emptiness. And what it whispered recently was not routine data, not the heartbeat of a fading machine, but something extraordinary. Something that made scientists pause, and reconsider the very boundaries of our cosmic home. Voyager 2 had reached the edge. It had crossed into a new realm of existence. And in doing so, it confirmed a truth long suspected, but rarely spoken aloud. The edge of our solar system is not a blur. It is a wall. And beyond that wall, everything changes. That wall is called the heliopause. It is the invisible point where the power of our sun finally ends, where solar winds surrender to the raw and ancient forces of the galaxy. For decades, astronomers imagined this transition as gentle, like mist dissolving quietly into open air. But Voyager proved them wrong. The change was sudden, sharp, almost violent, as though the spacecraft had pierced through an unseen barrier. One moment, Voyager floated inside the protective bubble of the sun. The next, it was thrown into a vast and alien ocean of forces. Cosmic radiation surged by more than 70%. Plasma density spiked abruptly. Magnetic fields twisted and shifted into unfamiliar patterns. Crossing the heliopause was not like drifting into calm open space. It was like stepping through a doorway into a raging storm. The heliosphere, once thought of as vague and abstract, revealed itself as something real, tangible and alive. Inside, the violent forces of the galaxy are softened, muted by the constant outpouring of the sun's wind and magnetic field. Outside, however, the mask is torn away. The galaxy shows its true nature, restless, hostile, unpredictable. For the first time, humanity had proof. Our solar system is not drifting unprotected in an empty void. It is shielded by a fragile boundary, a living barrier that keeps the chaos of the galaxy at bay. Yet this shield is not permanent. It is not fixed. Voyager 2, alongside Voyager 1, revealed that the heliosphere breathes. It expands and contracts with the sun's 11-year cycle. When the sun is active, solar winds roar outward, pushing the bubble wide against the pressure of the galaxy. When the sun grows quiet, the bubble shrinks, allowing dangerous cosmic radiation to creep closer to Earth. And the shield is not symmetrical. It is stretched and distorted by galactic winds, drawn out into a comet-like tail. The protection that guards our world is not constant. It is fragile. And that fragility became alarmingly clear. The threshold in the message in 2019, after more than 40 years of faithful whispers, Voyager 2 suddenly went silent. Its instruments froze. Its voice was gone. For hours, engineers feared that the probe had finally succumbed to the cold emptiness of interstellar space. And then, without warning, it returned. Its systems rebooted. Its signal came back. Voyager had survived. The official reports pointed to aging hardware, perhaps software glitches. But buried within the data were troubling anomalies. Unexplained bursts of particle energy, sudden distortions in the magnetic field, sharp spikes in radiation just before the blackout. Some scientists began to wonder, had Voyager passed through an unknown region of space? A storm of plasma? The fading remnant of a supernova? Or something stranger still, something we had never imagined? Whatever the cause, Voyager revealed something profound: interstellar space is not calm. It is alive with activity and turbulence. Its instruments recorded radiation that rose and fell like waves across a vast ocean. Plasma densities surged in rhythms, and magnetic fields jolted as if storms brewed in the unseen dark. For the first time, we had direct evidence of space weather beyond our solar system. And then came the strangest discovery of all: the magnetic alignment. Scientists had long expected the Sun's magnetic field and the galaxies to clash violently. Instead, Voyager found them curiously aligned, as though they had been shaped to fit together. This raised two staggering possibilities. Either the heliosphere has spent millions of years sculpting the galaxy's field into harmony, or our solar system was born inside a region of space already aligned with the Sun. If the first is true, our star is far more powerful than we ever realized. If the second, then our neighborhood in the cosmos is not random. It is ordered. Perhaps it is part of something larger than we can yet imagine. From these revelations, a whisper began to circulate among theorists. What if the heliopause is not just a physical boundary? What if it is reactive, perhaps even watchful? The sudden radiation spikes, the sharp magnetic shifts, the uncanny alignment, all suggested that the heliopause was more than an invisible bubble. Some proposed it might function as a kind of checkpoint, a natural structure that reacts to anything that dares to cross. If so, then Voyager 2 did not slip quietly into interstellar space. It announced itself. And that thought becomes more unsettling when one remembers what Voyager carries. The golden record, a copper disc plated in gold, etched with the sounds of Earth, greetings in dozens of languages, and a map pointing directly back to our home. Once, the record was celebrated as humanity's most hopeful creation. A declaration: we are here. But now, in light of Voyager's discoveries, some ask a far darker question. If the heliopause is a gate, if it reacts, if it signals, then what does it mean that the first probe to cross it carried a map to us? Did we extend a hand of friendship? Or did we expose our greatest weakness? Voyager 2 was never expected to survive long enough to confront such questions. And yet, here it drifts still, sending faint whispers across the abyss. It carries not only instruments and data, but humanity's voice, humanity's story, pressed in gold, sailing into a realm we barely understand. It has shown us that our solar system is not drifting aimlessly. It is shielded by a fragile, breathing boundary. Beyond that boundary lies turbulence, storms, and currents that never rest. The galaxy beyond is not silent. It is structured. It is dangerous. And it is far closer than we once imagined. Now, nearly half a century after its launch, Voyager continues deeper into the unknown. And the question that lingers, echoing across the silence between stars, is this: will Voyager 2 remain only an explorer? Or has it, by carrying its golden message across the threshold,